We'll now discuss the law of cosines, which can help us solve two different types of triangles. Ideally, we have a triangle with angles ABC and opposite sides of ABC. Our law of cosines says c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab times cosine of c. We can also switch letters around to say that b squared is a squared plus c squared minus 2ac of cosine of b. And then finally we could do a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine a. And this will help us solve the two last types of triangles that we have yet to be able to do. In particular, SAS, these are triangles where we know two sides and the enclosing angle. And also SSS triangles, triangles where we know all three sides and no angles. Here's our first triangle, and here we see that we are missing the side C. So we know that c squared is a squared plus b squared minus 2 times a times b cosine of angle C. So now we just need to work this out, and we can easily work out the right-hand side. And when we do, we show that c squared is equal to approximately 44.07. Then we can find c, which is approximately 6.64. So now we have our missing side, and we need our two missing angles. And now we can use our law of sines to find one of those. I can say that sine of 40 over this side I just found is equal to sine of a over 6. This tells me that sine of a is approximately 0.58. And then we can use our calculator to find the inverse sine of this value, which would give us the fact that a is going to be equal to approximately 35.52. Using that, we know that 180 is equal to 40 plus 35.52 plus our missing angle B, and now we can find angle B, which we get to be 104.48. So now we have all three sides and all three angles. Next, we'll look at one that has all three sides and none of the angles. So we'll start by trying to find angle A using the fact that a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine of angle A. And if we reduce this, we'll get that 25 is equal to 136 minus 120 cosine A. We can then solve for cosine A, and when we do, we get that cosine A is 0.925. Once we have that, we can use the inverse cosine on the calculator to find the value of A. And when we do, we get that angle A is approximately 22.33. We can now use the law of sines to say that sine of 22.33 over side A, which is 5, is equal to sine of b over 10. And if you work this out and solve it, you get that b is approximately 49.45 degrees. We can then use that and the fact that triangles add up to be 180 to find angle C. And when we do, we get that C is 107.72 degrees.